Most people think billionaires are obsessed with money. Becoming a billionaire should end the chase. Instead, it can make the chase impossible to escape. Once money can buy almost anything, it stops being about things. It becomes control over time, risk, access, and outcomes. But control has a hidden price. Trust becomes complicated. Loss feels personal, and the finish line keeps moving. Billionaires differ, yet extreme wealth creates 7 recurring psychological pressures. The final one explains why someone who can afford almost anything may still be unable to stop. This is not about worshiping billionaires. It is not about condemning them either. It is about understanding what happens when money loses its normal meaning. Because the psychology of extreme wealth begins much earlier than the wealth itself. It begins with how someone sees risk, how they protect time, how they respond to uncertainty, and how they define the word enough. Understanding these patterns will not make someone a billionaire overnight, but it can expose the invisible beliefs controlling our own financial decisions. For most people, money has a direct purpose. It pays the rent, it buys food, it covers emergencies, it creates small moments of comfort. Every amount has emotional weight, but extreme wealth changes that relationship. Money stops being mainly about purchasing things. It becomes a tool for creating options. A billionaire does not simply see a large balance. They see doors, a new company, a new market, a faster solution, a stronger negotiating position, or the ability to walk away completely. That final option is more powerful than it appears. Most people negotiate while needing the deal. They need the job, they need the client, they need the approval. The billionaire can often leave the table. That freedom changes every conversation. This is why extreme wealth can appear unusually calm. The calm may not come from confidence. It may come from having more exits. Money becomes psychological protection against being trapped. But once money represents freedom, losing it feels different. The fear is no longer about missing a payment. It is about losing control. And that leads to the next pattern. Many great fortunes begin with frustration. Someone dislikes how an industry operates. They dislike waiting for permission. They dislike depending on broken systems, so they build something they can control. A company, a platform, a product, a distribution network. At first, control helps them survive. They make faster decisions. They take responsibility. They refuse to wait for perfect conditions. But success can turn that strength into a dependency. The person stops trusting systems they did not create. Delegation begins feeling dangerous. Uncertainty feels personal. Even small delays can feel like threats. Imagine spending decades building a machine around your decisions. People respond when you speak. Problems disappear when you apply pressure. Doors open before you touch them. Eventually, resistance begins feeling abnormal. That is the hidden danger of extreme influence. The world stops giving honest friction, and without friction, judgment can weaken. Control helped build the fortune, but the need for control can later imprison its owner. Still, control alone does not explain the enormous risks billionaires take. For that, we need to examine how they see failure. Most people are trained to avoid losing. Protect the salary, protect the savings, protect the safe position. This makes sense when one mistake could damage everything. Billionaire-level thinking often uses a different calculation. The question is not simply, could this fail? The question becomes, what happens if it succeeds? That difference changes everything. Imagine 10 locked doors. Behind 9 doors, there is nothing. Behind 1 door, there is an entirely new market. Most people focus on the 9 disappointments. The billionaire studies the value behind the final door. This does not mean billionaires are fearless. It means they can pursue uneven opportunities. The downside may be limited. The upside could be enormous. They are not always trying to be correct. They are trying to make correctness unusually valuable. This is why outsiders sometimes see recklessness. They see the possibility of failure. The billionaire sees the size of the possible reward. But this thinking contains a trap. When massive bets succeed, ordinary victories lose their emotional power. A small win feels invisible. A normal year feels disappointing. The mind becomes trained to need larger outcomes. Success raises the minimum amount required to feel successful. And slowly, wealth becomes a scoreboard. There is a strange moment inside extreme success. The original problem has already been solved. The bills are covered. The family's protected. Comfort is guaranteed. The person could stop. But stopping rarely feels simple, because the number is no longer just money. It has become proof. Proof of intelligence. Proof of discipline. Proof that the sacrifices were justified. Proof that the doubters were wrong. This is where comparison enters. A person can own more than they once imagined, yet feel behind someone with twice as much. The reference point changes. Yesterday's dream becomes today's normal. Today's normal becomes tomorrow's disappointment. This is not limited to billionaires. It happens whenever identity becomes attached to progress. The bigger house quickly feels ordinary. The promotion becomes an expectation. The new income becomes the new minimum. The finish line moves because the runner keeps moving it. For billionaires, the distance becomes extreme. They are no longer competing only for comfort. They may be competing for rank, influence, history, or legacy. At that level, another billion may change almost nothing physically, but psychologically, it can still change the score. This is why enough must be defined before success arrives. Otherwise, ambition will define it for you. And ambition has no natural stopping point. From the outside, extreme wealth appears to be about possessions. But possessions are often the least interesting benefit. The deeper luxury is control over time. Waiting becomes optional. Travel becomes faster. Routine problems are handled by other people. Friction is removed from daily life. This is not always about laziness. It is often about protecting attention. At high levels of responsibility, attention becomes expensive. Every unnecessary decision competes with a larger one. So wealthy people build walls around their time. Assistants protect their calendars. Teams filter information. Experts solve specialized problems. Money is used to prevent small issues from reaching the mind. But there is another danger here. Removing every inconvenience can remove contact with ordinary reality. When someone never waits, they forget what waiting feels like. When every problem is solved instantly, patience becomes weaker. When other people absorb every inconvenience, empathy can fade. Convenience creates freedom. Too much convenience can create distance. The real lesson is not to eliminate every difficult experience. It is to protect time without becoming disconnected from life. Because money can purchase faster movement. It cannot decide where you should be going. Imagine meeting someone new. They laugh at your jokes. They praise your ideas. They want to spend time with you. But one question remains, would they behave the same way without the money? Extreme wealth makes that question difficult to silence. Every relationship can carry uncertainty. Is this friendship genuine? Is this advice honest? Is this person loyal to me or to the opportunity around me? The wealthier someone becomes, the harder motives can be to read. People begin editing themselves. Employees hide bad news. Advisors protect their access. Friends avoid uncomfortable truths. Family relationships can become financial negotiations. This creates a dangerous contradiction. The billionaire gains access to almost everyone, but may struggle to know who is truly present. Success can create a room full of voices, yet very few voices feel safe. That isolation can affect judgment. Without honest disagreement, bad ideas survive longer. Without trusted relationships, suspicion becomes a habit. This is why genuine relationships become more valuable after success. They cannot easily be purchased later. The best time to build honest relationships is before you need them, because wealth attracts attention. Character determines who remains when the attention disappears. The deepest psychological pattern is rarely about spending. It is about identity. After decades of building, the billionaire may no longer separate themselves from the business. The company is not simply something they own. It is evidence that they matter. It gives structure to their day. It gives meaning to their decisions. It gives the world a reason to listen. This makes walking away psychologically difficult. Retirement can feel like disappearance. Slowing down can feel like becoming irrelevant. Selling the company can feel like selling part of the self. The fortune creates freedom, but the identity attached to it creates obligation. The person owns the empire, yet the empire also owns their sense of purpose. This explains why some billionaires continue working beyond financial necessity. They may not be chasing another purchase. They may be protecting the identity success created. The work answers a question money cannot. Who am I when I am no longer building? That question is not exclusive to billionaires. It appears whenever achievement becomes identity. A career can become identity. A salary can become identity. Even struggle can become identity. The danger begins when losing the role feels like losing yourself. The psychology behind extreme wealth is not simply greed. It is often a search for control, protection from dependence, freedom from waiting, proof of personal value, and protection against becoming irrelevant. Money magnifies these desires. It does not create all of them. A fearful person can become a fearful billionaire. An insecure person can become an insecure billionaire. A grounded person can use wealth without becoming consumed by it. That is the central lesson. Money solves many external problems, but it cannot define the meaning of enough. That decision must come first. Otherwise, the person builds a fortune to purchase freedom, then spends the rest of life protecting the fortune. Real wealth is not having endless options. It is knowing which options are worth choosing. If nobody could see your income, possessions, or job title, what would wealth mean to you? Leave your answer in the comments. Subscribe to You Are Decoded for more stories about money, status, and human behavior. Because the next episode reveals why the quiet rich work so hard to remain invisible.